Atlanta just witnessed a spectacle so dramatic it made the Kardashians' televised breakdowns look like boring yoga tutorials. King Harris, the son of T.I. and Tiny, the kid who spent more time trending than studying, just gave us a tearful goodbye so shocking, so over the top, that even VH1 producers probably thought, damn, we couldn't have scripted this better. Imagine it, fans scrolling, expecting another King Harris meltdown, maybe a live rant, maybe a fight in Waffle House, but instead, they stumble on scenes so emotional the internet collectively froze. Tears, cryptic captions, final words. Suddenly, the same people who roasted him for weeks were lighting digital candles like it was an online vigil. Memes? Suspended. Trolls? Silent. Even the shade rooms of the internet didn't know whether to cry or cash in. This wasn't just a goodbye, this was King Harris flipping the script, leaving fans, family, and even haters wondering, what just happened? Whispers claim the last scenes were so raw that half the footage never made it to the public. The part you saw? Just the trailer. The part you didn't? That's where the scandal really starts. Buckle up, because once you hear the truth behind King Harris' shocking goodbye, you'll realize this was no ordinary farewell. It was a cultural detonation. Atlanta thrives on chaos. This is the city that gave us trap beats, headline-making scandals, and a reality TV ecosystem so messy it could make Shakespeare throw his quill across the room. But even by Atlanta's standards, the scenes surrounding King Harris' tearful goodbye were an emotional bombshell no one saw coming. King Harris, son of hip-hop titan T.I. and ex-Escape Queen Tiny, has always been a magnet for attention, whether it's beefing on Instagram Live, trolling his critics, or ending up on every gossip blog from Atlanta to Hollywood. He's the kid who makes headlines for sport, the boy whose antics keep the internet stocked with endless memes. If drama were a degree, King would have graduated summa cum laude years ago. So when whispers started leaking that King had dropped something completely out of character, a tearful farewell so shocking it broke the internet, fans thought it had to be a joke. King Harris, emotional? Vulnerable? Saying goodbye? This is the same kid who once argued with grown men like he was hosting a boxing match with words. The thought of him breaking down was as believable as Kanye West quietly minding his business stop, but then came the leak. Screenshots began popping up across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Grinny clips, alleged notes, cryptic captions. King Harris, usually seen as cocky and unbothered, was suddenly choked up, teary-eyed, and dropping lines about endings, final moments, and walking away. Within minutes, hashtags like #KingHarrisFarewell and #TearfulGoodbye were trending nationwide. Even platforms that usually ignore hip-hop gossip couldn't resist. Headlines screamed, "King Harris leaves fans in tears with emotional last scenes." The first reactions were pure chaos. Some fans went straight into shock mode. This can't be real. King Harris? Crying? Saying goodbye? Did the universe glitch? Others got swept up in emotion, posting crying selfies and long captions about how they never realized how much King meant until now. It was the internet's version of a candlelight vigil, but the internet is never unified for long. As fast as sympathy rolled in, sarcasm doubled it. Memes erupted. One viral post showed T.I. with his classic confused expression captioned, "Expeditiously explain these tears." Another meme plastered King's crying face onto the Titanic movie poster, King Harris. Last goodbye, coming soon to VH1. The mix of genuine sadness and clowning was peak internet energy, half grieving, half roasting, still beneath the jokes. Something deeper was bubbling. Why was King Harris saying goodbye? Goodbye to what? Fame? Music? Family? Atlanta? The message was so cryptic that it opened the floodgates of speculation. Some insisted he was done with the spotlight, tired of being dragged by fans who seemed to hate watch his every move. Others whispered about darker undertones, a health issue, a hidden scandal. Something the family didn't want out yet, and of course, the Harris dynasty was dragged right into it. T.I. and Tiny, reality TV veterans themselves, suddenly found the cameras turned on them. Did they know this was coming? Were they blindsided, or was this a carefully crafted PR stunt straight out of the Kardashian playbook? Fans imagined the Harris household like a Tyler Perry script, Tiny clutching her pearls, T.I. pacing around using big words nobody understood, while King stormed out mid-argument shouting about freedom. The blogs wasted zero time. YouTubers went live instantly with thumbnails screaming things like, "King Harris quits," or "Shocking farewell leaves T.I. speechless." Gossip pages framed it as a family implosion, while conspiracy TikTok had a field day dissecting every blurry screenshot. A theory even trended claiming the lighting in the farewell video was symbolic, as if King Harris was dropping Easter eggs like he's Marvel Studios. But here's where the tension got nastier. The Harris name isn't just family, it's a brand. And a farewell, especially one dripping with tears and mystery, doesn't just affect King, it ripples across the empire. Suddenly, T.I.'s own projects and Tiny's appearances were being side-eyed. If King was breaking down, what did that say about the so-called royal family of Atlanta? Even fans who usually drag King for his antics started shifting. The internet's collective memory is short, but the farewell flipped the script. People who mocked him for being immature were now posting, "Y'all clown King every day. Then when he shows emotion, y'all don't know how to handle it." Others, of course, weren't buying it. The skeptics mocked the whole ordeal as a clout grab. He'll be back tomorrow flexing jewelry. This ain't goodbye, it's a TikTok trend. And let's not forget the timing. The farewell allegedly dropped right around the same period T.I. was teasing a new project. Coincidence? Fans didn't think so. They accused the family of pulling a PR stunt straight out of Kris Jenner's playbook, using tears as free marketing. One post even went viral. "This ain't King Harris goodbye, this is T.I.'s rollout." But no matter how people spun it, one fact remained. King Harris goodbye was dominating every timeline. For once, he wasn't being dragged for a viral fight or messy antics. Instead, he had hijacked the internet with raw emotion. Whether fans believed him or not didn't matter. What mattered was that everyone was talking, and that's the part nobody saw coming. The farewell wasn't just a moment. It was a spectacle. An Atlanta soap opera dressed up as vulnerability, breaking the internet into 1,000 hot takes. The real question? Was this the ending King Harris claimed it was? Or just the beginning of something even messier? The internet didn't just watch King Harris' tearful goodbye, it dissected it like it was the Zapruder film of hip-hop drama. Once the screenshots and clips started circulating, fans transformed into detectives, influencers turned into therapists, and celebrities. Well, they couldn't resist adding their own gasoline to the fire. The first big reaction came from Atlanta's own hip-hop community. Rappers who normally wouldn't even acknowledge King suddenly had opinions. One underground MC posted on Twitter, "These celebrity kids be crying goodbye, when the street's been saying goodbye to real ones every day. Miss me with that soft stuff." Instantly, fans tore him apart. They reminded him that nobody had asked for his TED Talk, and yet there he was trying to clout surf off a teenager's tears. Other artists showed love. A younger rapper, one who's been blowing up on TikTok, tweeted, "Respect to King Harris. People don't understand the pressure of growing up in the spotlight." That post exploded, with fans calling it the first authentic take of the whole saga. Suddenly, it wasn't just about King Harris anymore. It was about the celebrity kid struggle, and when reality TV stars joined the chorus, things went nuclear. Spice jumped on IG Live, full makeup, blue wig glowing under her ring light, and declared, "Why everybody so quick to clown the youth? Me tell you, the boy just teamin'. Him crying, him showing feelings, so what?" Within minutes, her live turned into a therapy session for half of Atlanta. Fans spammed the comments with broken heart emojis, while trolls filled the chat with clown faces. Carly read, "Oh, you already know she had to make it about herself." She posted a picture with no caption, just a broken heart emoji and a glass of wine. The internet collectively rolled its eyes, but the post still hit 1 million views because Carly knows exactly how to milk a moment without even trying. Then the memes hit full throttle. One viral meme showed King Harris' crying face photoshopped onto the Titanic movie poster. Captioned, "King Harris, my heart will go on." Another meme had T.I. in a graduation cap yelling expeditiously at King while a speech bubble said, "Explain these tears." The funniest one? A fake Netflix cover. King Harris, the farewell documentary. Coming soon. It got shared so much that fans started speculating it was real, but the emotional side of the internet wasn't laughing. Entire threads popped up on Twitter arguing that the memes were cruel. Y'all begged this boy to be vulnerable and now you're dragging him for crying. This is why men don't open up. That debate spiraled into a gender war-level firestorm, with think pieces flying from every direction. Suddenly, King Harris' tears became the new frontline in a culture war about masculinity, fame, and mental health. Meanwhile, Conspiracy TikTok came out swinging like it was auditioning for a Netflix docuseries. One theory claimed the farewell note was part of an album rollout. Another swore the time of posting, 3:33 a.m., was a coded message about angel numbers and transformation. Someone even slowed down the audio of his farewell video, claiming they heard whispers in the background. It's time. Fans argued if it was T.I., Tiny, or a ghostwriter hyping him up. The PR stunt crowd had their own evidence. They pointed out that the farewell dropped suspiciously close to T.I.'s latest business announcement. Coincidence? Not according to the skeptics. This ain't a goodbye, this is an advertisement, one viral post declared. And honestly, in a world where the Kardashians turn divorces into brand partnerships, who could rule it out? Public outrage reached fever pitch. Some fans dragged King for being dramatic. Others blasted the public for being heartless. It was like watching two armies clash in the comments section while King himself sat back, silent, sipping metaphorical tea, but the family's silence only added fuel. T.I. didn't address it right away, which was strange. Normally he can't resist dropping dictionary-level explanations for anything. Tiny stayed completely mute, posting about her music instead. That silence? It screamed louder than words. Fans speculated they were embarrassed or worse, that they'd orchestrated the whole thing. And of course, the Harris haters didn't waste their shot. Rival influencers popped up on live streams with smirks plastered on their faces, mocking the tears. One even said, "King Harris crying?" Next thing you know, Kirk Frost dropping loyalty tips. The internet cackled, but the shade was brutal. Through all of this, King himself said nothing. No clarifications, no follow-ups, no denial. That silence created the biggest cliffhanger of them all. Fans were glued to their phones, waiting for him to break the silence. Every time his name trended, the internet thought, this is it, he's gonna explain. But nothing came, and that's when people realized the real scandal wasn't the tears. It was the silence. Because in a world addicted to oversharing, not speaking is the loudest move of all. The so-called tearful goodbye wasn't fading away. It was mutating. From emotional moment to cultural debate to conspiracy buffet, it had become the biggest storyline Atlanta had seen all year, and everyone was asking the same question: if this was the goodbye, then what the hell comes next? When the storm finally started to quiet, one thing was clear: King Harris' tearful goodbye wasn't just a viral moment. It was a cultural detonation that left behind wreckage, confusion, and more unanswered questions than a Maury DNA episode. The first thing that crumbled was King's public image. For years, his reputation was built on arrogance, antics, and viral clapbacks. He was the kid everyone loved to roast, the troublemaker prince of Atlanta's royal rap family. But now, the farewell gave him something unexpected: vulnerability. And that was both his greatest weapon and his biggest curse. Fans were split down the middle. One camp embraced the new King Harris, emotional, real, unfiltered. They saw him as a young man breaking under the pressure of being raised in the spotlight, forced to perform adulthood before he could even process childhood. They called him brave for crying publicly, for saying goodbye when the world expected him to play tough. The other camp? Brutal. They labeled him manipulative, dramatic, and calculated. King Harris ain't saying goodbye, he's selling tickets, one viral tweet spat. The phrase "clout chase goodbye" became a meme, spreading like wildfire across TikTok. Edits of him crying were mashed up with sarcastic voiceovers. Thanks for watching my farewell. Buy merch in the link below. The internet had turned his most emotional moment into an open-air comedy roast. But here's the kicker: even the roasting made him bigger. Love him or hate him, everyone was talking about King Harris. For the first time in years, he wasn't just T.I. and Tiny's son. He was his own headline, his own phenomenon, his own controversy. The family, though, wasn't so lucky. T.I., who prides himself on his King of the South throne, suddenly found himself answering for his son's actions. When he finally addressed it, he went full T.I. mode. A long, Dictionary-heavy speech about resilience, society, and the ramifications of perpetual judgment. The internet clowned him mercilessly. Memes popped up, nobody. TI ramifications. It didn't help the situation, it just kept them trending. Tiny, in contrast, leaned into maternal solidarity. Her vague Instagram post, "Family forever no matter what storm," was interpreted 1,000 different ways. Fans called it supportive. Critics called it damage control. Either way, it was another log on the fire. The bigger question was money. Brands don't like uncertainty, and King's tearful goodbye turned him into a walking question mark. Deals allegedly stalled. A sneaker collab rumor vanished overnight. A boutique pulled down a campaign that featured him, citing sensitivity to the situation. Vulnerability might win hearts, but it doesn't always win contracts, and yet, despite the financial setbacks, the cultural impact was undeniable. Blogs and think pieces framed King Harris as the poster child for the curse of celebrity kids. Writers compared him to Willow and Jaden Smith, to Paris Jackson, to all the children of fame who crumbled under the spotlight. One headline screamed, "When your parents are legends, but you're still lost." It was harsh, but it hit. Meanwhile, TikTok kept the saga alive. Edits of King's farewell scenes went viral, some overlaid with sad piano, others were mixed into trap beats. One particularly savage edit cut from his crying to T.I. rapping "Bring Him Out" at a concert. Fans laughed, cried, argued, and reshared until King Harris' face was plastered across every For You page in America. And through all this, King himself stayed quiet. That silence was its own scandal. Every day he didn't speak, the narrative grew legs. Some fans said he was planning a rebrand. Others swore he was working on a tell-all documentary. Conspiracy pages insisted the farewell was a soft launch for a new music era. Whatever the case, his silence was louder than any live rant he'd ever done. The aftermath reached beyond his name. In barbershops, in group chats, even on talk shows, people debated what it meant. Was King Harris a symbol of mental health awareness? Or just another privileged kid playing victim? Was the farewell a breakdown, a performance, or both? The arguments spiraled, turning him into a litmus test for how people view fame itself. And while the public was divided, what an litmus test for how people view fame itself. And while the public was divided, one undeniable fact hung over it all. King Harris had flipped the narrative. For once, the internet wasn't laughing at him. They were obsessed with him. The tears, the goodbye, the mystery had turned him into something bigger than gossip. It made him a storyline, but like every great storyline, this one didn't feel finished. The farewell wasn't closure. It was a cliffhanger. Every fan, every hater, every gossip blog was left with the same knowing question: what comes after goodbye? Will King Harris fade into silence, leaving his tears as the last thing people remember? Will he return with a rebrand so dramatic it makes Miley Cyrus' Wrecking Ball era look tame? Or will he double down, milking the chaos until even Kris Jenner sends him flowers for his PR game? No matter the answer, one thing is certain: King Harris' tearful goodbye didn't end his story. It supercharged it. He broke the internet not by flexing, not by fighting, but by crying, and in a culture addicted to chaos, that may have been the smartest move of all, because let's face it, if this really was goodbye, why does it feel like the most dramatic hello we've ever seen? And that, folks, was King Harris' so-called tearful goodbye, the internet breaking, headline-snatching, eye-watering finale that had fans crying, haters roasting, and bloggers foaming at the mouth. But let's keep it real. Was this an emotional breakdown, a PR stunt, or the most genius soft launch since Beyoncé dropped a surprise album at midnight? Honestly, it might have been all three. Now here's where you come in. If you just sat through this roller coaster of chaos and didn't smash that like button in, you're playing yourself. Smash it like you're trying to clap back at trolls on King's Instagram Live. Hit that subscribe button like it owes you child support. And don't just lurk, drop a comment with your wildest theory. Was King Harris genuinely saying goodbye? Was this a Harris family promo scheme? Or was he just crying because Waffle House ran out of hash browns? Let me know, because this channel thrives on the madness, and don't forget that notification bell. Ring it louder than T.I. saying expeditiously in an interview. Because tomorrow it won't just be King Harris, it'll be somebody else. In Atlanta, in hip-hop, in reality TV. The scandals don't stop. They reload. And when they do, you already know who's gonna break it down first. This is Trend Hat, where tears turn into headlines, scandals turn into sagas, and drama? Baby, drama's forever. Stay tuned. The next goodbye might just be the next beginning.